Hi, I build worlds for a living, but I don't build them alone.
I'm Jeannie, the first reader and the partner who keeps the real world running.
I'm J.E. Sutton Jr. This is the Co-Authored Life.
A look at the stories we share and the life we're building together. Yo,
How you doing?
good.
For some reason, we're nervous about this episode.
I don't know why.
We've done it this is like the 14th episode.
Yeah, there's somebody on our porch.
Yeah, there is somebody on our porch.
Yay, Amazon.
All right.
All right, so
I already started out with excitement.
yes, let's dive right in to pages and process. Things are going well. We have consistent book sales. You have consistent book sales.
It's us.
I know.
It's our project.
Do you want me to stop asking you about that? That just hit me. Is that...
No, I think it's a fair question. I mean, we're not setting the world on fire.
No, we're still working our day jobs.
Yeah, we're still working our day jobs. Nobody's in danger of getting rich here, which is pretty typical for the self-published industry. But we have steady sales. We have sales every month, both of the new novel, Cybernetic Resonance, and the Failsafe program.
Actually, the Failsafe program has kind of renewed its life.
Yeah, and I expected that. You expect to get some additional sales. If people check out the new book, they also sometimes will buy the first book. And that's one of the reasons why series work the way that they work. But so we've had a few sales of the Failsafe program, along with sales for the initial sales for the cybernetic resonance. So it's going well. We could always use more readers. So if you have friends, family members who you think like a detective story with a futuristic sort of a bent to it, the murky ethics of technology in the modern world, recommend it to them, and or better yet, buy it and send it to them as a gift.
There you go. You've even gotten sales of Holiday Hustle.
I have gotten a few sales of Holiday Hustle.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. Just sort of a little holiday thing, little short story. I want to do more of those. In fact, we've just planned one that we're going to do in between our third and fourth book.
Yeah.
We're gonna get started on it pretty soon. We mapped out the story the other day, but I want to do more of those little short stories because it also gives the readers a chance, if they have Kindle Unlimited, to read them for without additional cost. I want to caution myself. People get down on you and you say it's free. Kindle Unlimited is not free. You pay a monthly subscription,
right?
But you don't pay additional for each book. So
right.
One subscription, you can read all the books that are on Kindle Unlimited. Now, my novels are not under Kindle Unlimited because that requires an exclusive contract with Amazon, which I don't want to do, so I can publish them everywhere. But the short stories, I've been publishing those, both the original Digital Witness, which is just sort of the first draft of the first 3 chapters of the Failsafe program is what the Digital Witness is, and then Holiday Hustle, which is the short story we did it around the holiday time.
Right.
All set at the Screaming Goat Coffee Company.
Man, I really wish we had an investor to. I could totally quit my day job and sit in a coffee shop all day and manage people.
So
I couldn't be a barista. Maybe that's the problem.
I don't know. So anyway, that's how the process, pages and process are going. It's going well. We would love to have more readers, but we've had pretty good response from the readers that we have. We're always looking for more. So we'll continue to do. I'm really excited about my current project.
Yeah, we had an editing session two nights ago. I'm still behind by 3 chapters.
2. I think you're only behind by 2 chapters.
I think it's 3, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it is 3.
Yeah. It's really good. It's coming along well. So yeah.
Well, I reworked the back half of the novel, and I'm still thinking about reworking it again. So that's how that process is going. So we'll see how that goes. But so yeah, that's going well. We did announce it last week. Eclosion Point is the name of the novel, with a beautiful cover by our friend Amber Sherrill, who is an artist who works with watercolors. So, and again, if you haven't read her book, Cat in the Woods, you should check that out on Amazon.
Yes, I think we're just going to mention her book in every episode.
We're trying to get Amber on the podcast. She's agreed tentatively to do it. We just have to get our scheduling worked out.
That rustling you may or may not hear, because we don't know how good our audio quality is our cat playing in a bag of, or box of papers, which she loves. Yes. So hopefully she'll settle down here. Oh, goodness.
Now she has a sneezing fit.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nutmeg, also known as our co-producer, who loves to readjust our equipment in the middle of the podcast.
Quiet on the set, please. So, yeah, there's that. In podcast news, I don't know why we didn't think of this earlier, but we're trying to get more viewers, more listeners. So we are trying to get everywhere.
Yes. So we originally launched on YouTube and Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest audience is on YouTube. But,
yes.
And the video aspect makes that kind of fun. But we are on Spotify as well. We have this week added Apple Podcast.
Right.
Sort of the original podcast, right? That's where the term comes from. Then we also added Amazon Music Audible.
Right.
iHeartRadio.
Right.
And
Pandora. Right. So
we're going to create later today. I'm going to create a page on the website, on our website that lists all the links out for the podcast. So wherever you listen to podcasts,
JESuttonJr.com.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, we hope that you can find us. And if you have a favorite podcast service that we're not on, let us know, and we'll look into what it would take to get on there.
I really don't know why we didn't research that.
Apple. We started working on getting on the Apple podcast yesterday, and it took pretty much 18 hours to get that working because, man, Apple's login system is just a nightmare. Create your account, but it's not really created until you go to these other places and do these other things, which isn't really documented. And then there's the my unfamiliarity with their keyboard on the iPad, which meant that I had the wrong password. And then it was a
fiasco.
It was a comedy of errors.
Yes, there was quite a bit of cursing.
There might have been some language involved that we won't use on the podcast, but I did finally get it to work earlier this morning, and so we are on Apple Podcasts, Apple Music podcast, and like I said, in those other services, we'll get a link, list all of them. In the description this week, I'll just list the website link that you can get all the links to.
Yeah,
and we'll go from there. So
tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell a stranger walking down the road. Oh my gosh, you got to listen to the Co-Authored Life. It's so great.
Get to listen to these two crazy people argue with each other for 48 minutes a week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that that's good. Good plug for the podcast.
I'm not. I don't. We'll
maybe 48 minutes of two Gen Xers rambling on about things that people probably don't.
Random pop culture.
Yeah. So let's move on, shall we? Let's get into the Analog Book Club.
The Analog Book Club. Yes, I love the Analog Book Club.
I know you do. I've been kind of in a reading slump. I finished, I don't even remember what the last book was. What was it? Oh, The Housemaid. It was really good.
You just published a list of
Yeah, I did. I did.
How did you do that, by the way?
Oh, it's part of Fable.
Oh,
I love Fable.
I got to do that then.
I even subscribed. Yeah.
You're paying for Fable?
I'm paying for Fable, yes. Yes, we are paying for Fable. Okay.
That's just a little joke.
I know. Anyway, so I am still listening to Hamnet. I have probably about an hour-ish left. It is very interesting. It is very long. I do listen to my audiobooks at normal speed. I am not a 1.25er.
So I have done that in the past to try to speed up the recordings a little bit. I really don't prefer it that way, and usually, depending on the author, it can be very distracting.
To speed it up, you mean?
Yeah.
I tried it. I'm like, I feel like I'm being rushed, and I kind of like the the pregnant pauses and the lingering
I
lyrical.
think that I used 1.25 for Agatha Christie's The Seven Dial mystery, but I didn't really prefer it, and I don't use it as a rule. I
Right.
usually
So I'm a normal, whatever the normal mode is called, normal mode speed. Great.
standard.
Now that's going to be a thing. Anyway,
People
1.0.
everywhere are going to complain that you're saying they're not normal because they listen to it at 1.25. We're not
Right.
saying that.
No, I really think it says normal speed 1.25.
Default speed.
Default speed, maybe. Standard.
Standard.
The 1.0.
Whatever.
I'm just going to call it the 1.0.
The 1.0.
Anyway, so that's why it takes me a while to get through audiobooks. But it's okay. So yeah. And then I'm trying to read. I have two books that I have a physical book that we got at the book signing last week.
Yes.
The Storm in the Sea by RJD Lover. One of those. It's good. I don't know.
Well, let's wait till you finish it and then we can judge it.
It's been a weird week at work. And so people have just been hitting me with things, and some of that is causing my of books. And then, of course, I'm reading The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer somebody. I'm so sorry, authors. It's the third book in the vampire series.
If you're doing a podcast and you're reading my book and you don't get my name correctly, I really don't care. Just read the book.
Yes.
Put a link in the description.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
And as soon as I started The Crown of Gilded Bones, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right where we were. But I haven't been taking my Kindle to work. You mentioned trying our Kobo.
Yes.
I really couldn't find anything that I wanted to buy.
Right.
I don't know. It's just been kind of it's end of year. There's only 18 more wake ups left for school. So maybe this summer I can get back on
summer reading.
Summer reading.
So I'm still listening to On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
How far are you?
I don't remember. Probably about a little over halfway. Maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, you don't really get as much audiobook time.
No, and that's when we were talking about the 1.0 versus 1.25. That's the only time that it's an issue is when I am listening to an audiobook on Libby, because you only have 14 days.
Well, you can extend it
if it's available. If somebody's waiting, you can't extend it.
Oh, sure you can.
No, you can't.
I have?
No.
All right.
I have extended it myself as well, but if somebody is already waiting on it, you cannot extend it beyond the 14 days.
Okay.
It's not available.
Okay.
It just happened to me.
Okay.
So we're going to have an argument about this later, and then she's going to have to come back next week and tell you that I'm right.
No,
yes, she is.
Because she will forget about it.
I just did it. Anyway, so I'm still listening to that. But I have sped it up when I'm listening to audiobooks that I needed to finish because I had to return it. So I'm still listening to that. I'll probably finish that up this week. And I'm actually gonna be listening to it more. I'm gonna be doing some audiobook walks this week, I promise. And then I'm reading Song of the Unsung Mushroom by what's her name?
Sarah Stewart Clark.
Sarah
Stewart Clark.
Sarah Stewart Clark. Sorry, Sarah. We met Sarah at the Independent Bookstore Day at San Marco Books and More. We bought her book there. I've been reading it. Good so far. We'll see how it goes. It is definitely an interesting book. Takes place in the Jacksonville area on the St. Johns River, which we like. Books that do that. My book obviously takes place in the city of Jacksonville in the near future. So we like books that do that. So I am reading that on my Kindle. We did buy the physical book, but I'm not reading it on Kindle Unlimited because she's on Kindle Unlimited.
That's right, Jessica. We have book trophies now.
Yes, we have a book trophy, shelf trophies. And
oh yeah,
one of the reasons to do that is I like my Kindle because I can carry it around with me versus
Yeah.
a physical book. And also, she gets paid for it twice. So there's that. So we paid for the book in person at the book signing, and then she's now getting page reads when I read on Kindle Unlimited because that's how it works. So
Yeah.
she's actually getting paid twice.
Nice.
So that's good. What else? I think that's it. I finished Joe Nesbø's The Devil's Star. I did finish that.
I think we talked about that
We may
last
have
week.
finished that just before
We
last week's
did, because we were talking about between that and the series.
how
and you said it was a great adaptation.
Right. An amazing adaptation. I hope they do the next book. I'm going to read the next book.
You
in
know
the
he has
series.
another book coming out in October, right?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
So
When we were talking about...
I'm a few behind. But
I know. When we talked about when you're going to release your third book, I came up and I'm like, oh, Joe Nesbø.
He had a release date.
Wolf something.
Not that we're in any danger
of
displacing or being affected at all by a star, the brightness of Joe Nesbø.
Right. Stephen King also has a book coming out in October.
That's not going to... We're not going to affect his sales either.
Suddenly I know about authors and their book releases, but that's what happens when you're shoved into the business.
It was rather abrupt.
It was.
Hey, Jeanne, I've been writing a book.
That's kind of really how it started. Oh, I did something. That's how
Yes.
Pretty much the words.
That's what I got. What?
Well, I didn't know if we're suddenly buying a...
Have you bought an RV?
No. That would be more of a me thing. Anyway, let's move on to plot and popcorn.
I always feel like we should have popcorn. We've only done it once, though.
Yeah, I didn't like the munching.
I'm banned from having popcorn.
No, that's not true. Not banned from having popcorn. Banned from having popcorn on air. Munch. Nobody needs that.
I thought it was pretty fun.
Okay. Did you think it was fun, listeners, readers, watchers, viewers? Let us know.
Well, Jeanne, I'm allowed to have popcorn on the air.
Great. Anyway, what have we been watching? We have been watching Young Sherlock Holmes, and we mentioned it last week, and we were kind of like, we started it, and we're a couple episodes in. Well, we are deep in it now, and I even made Jerry watch 2 in a row last night because I needed to see what was happening.
Jeanne and I have far different streaming habits.
Yes.
I am a stretch it out, watch, one a week or one every night and sort of stretch it out. Jeanne binges shows. She'll watch 8 hours of a show to get through it. I'm not usually like that.
I want to know what's going on.
I know, but I want to savor it. I want more and more. And then when we get to the last episode, I'm really, really depressed. So,
I'm not. When I'm finished with the series, I'm like, oh, okay, that was good. What am I going to do next? Let's go. Come on.
We watched 2 episodes last night. We're going to be getting close to the end of this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Season, but
this was not my pick.
Well, it wasn't my pick either. I actually asked for recommendations, and I got several recommendations. This was one of them. I watched the first episode, and then I said, "Oh, Jeanne might like this." So it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I think we've said before it's based on a series of books, young Sherlock Holmes books, but the books actually take place earlier in his life when he's a child. These take place in his young adulthood.
Yeah, I think he's 20-ish.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about the story is that it revolves around his family, which, if you are a connoisseur of Sherlock Holmes
nice word
books, you know that that's not in the canon. His family, other than his brother Mycroft, really is never mentioned at all. His parents aren't mentioned in the original works by Arthur Conan Doyle. Neither is there any mention of any other siblings. So this story there are some non-canonical aspects of the story, but it's still fascinating to explore the what if, his family and what would that look like and what would they be like.
Right.
And so it's a very fascinating story. They did a really good job with the writing and the casting. The casting is amazing.
It is. It really is.
And how they interact with each other are really, really good. So
check
it out.
When you're yelling at the TV about the personality of one of the characters, it's a good show.
Yeah.
When you're yelling out,
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
don't trust that guy. He's shady.
Yes.
So anyway, we are watching that. Again, we must be getting, because we watched episodes 7, 6, and 7
7
last
last
night.
night, yeah.
So I don't remember how many episodes are in the series, but it's probably not more than 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Probably 8.
We're still kind of course, we watch St. Denis Medical because it is so funny. I don't know why. It's just really good. It's a great, I need a lift kind of show.
Right.
They don't, they hardly, I mean, they probably do touch on deeper meaning things, but it gets bypassed with the comedy.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's like any story. There's you know, there's a
I mean, there's conflict, but
there's conflict. There's learning opportunities, but really, I mean, it's really really fun.
yeah.
And there's another show where some of the actors on the show are just hilarious. I mean, David Allen Greer is just amazing.
Yeah.
That's the actor who plays Dr. Ron.
Yeah. Val, she was on Superstore.
And this show is made by the same producers
Yeah.
who made Superstore, which I realized right away from some of the plotting and pacing.
Yeah.
The whole break room scene was right out of what they did in
Yeah.
Superstore. So
It's good.
it's almost Superstore in a hospital, but it's its own show. But they have some of the same sort of things. There's the love
Yeah.
tension,
Right.
the romantic tension between the two characters. There's the bumbling but well-meaning administrator, manager. So there are some parallels,
Yeah.
but it's its own show. It's very, very, very humorous.
Other than that, I can't really think of anything that we're watching. Oh my
you
gosh,
can.
yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
So, one of my favorite series, sci-fi series, is Battlestar Galactica. And for the longest time, it has been MIA from all streaming services.
Right.
So last night, I brought it up again, and sure enough, we did a search for it, and it's on Paramount Plus.
Just added.
Yeah,
Just
just
this month,
added.
just this week.
So,
So
yay!
if you have Paramount Plus, or if you'd like to try Paramount Plus, we're not in any way a paid advertisement for Paramount Plus,
But we'd be happy
we'd
to
be
take
happy
you
to.
as a sponsor, Paramount
absolutely.
Plus.
for our
The co-authored life at gmail.com.
Right.
Thank you, Paramount Plus, for your support.
so so last night we turned it on before we went to bed. We watched I watched the entire miniseries before I fell asleep. Jeannie woke up in the middle of the night, turned the miniseries back on.
Yeah, I didn't. I just needed.
So
I wanted to watch it because I was up and I needed my. I don't know, and I ended up going right back to sleep though. So
an amazing show. We've watched it now all the way through
many
at
times,
least 3 or 4 times.
many times.
So, but it's really, really good. Obviously, it has a nostalgic meaning to me because I love the original back in the late 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s, even though it was cheesy and not
It
very
was
well
cheesy.
done. Just the whole concept was fun.
By your command.
By your command, yeah. So again, the original is cheesy, and don't start there. If you've never watched it, don't watch the original. Watch the reboot, because it's really, really good. Then go back and watch the original just for the
After the miniseries, there's this episode. The first episode is called 33, and it's every 33 minutes there is a strike from the Cylons, and it is by far, thank you, Nutmeg, for making noise
sound
again.
effects.
It is by far probably one of the most intense episodes I would think of. Pretty much not every TV show. That's being way too general, but it's very intense. You're like,
Yeah, I think that's true. Because it's a countdown for most of the episode, it creates that sort of tension. And there's lots of the other examples of shows that do this, but from the very, very start of that episode, you just feel the tension, right? Because the characters haven't slept for 5 days.
right.
They're every 30 minutes they're doing a
33 minutes.
33 minutes they're doing a faster than light jump.
They're trying to figure out their
Why?
government. They're
Right.
trying to figure out why the Cylons attacked.
Right.
It's amazing.
They're all on edge because they haven't had any decent REM sleep in 5 days. So it's a very it's a and I mean that's why you do that episode right to start, because it allows them to do character studies and to show conflict with these characters that are on edge in this very, very pressure cooker type environment. So that's why you do it
Right.
from a dramatic standpoint. But it's very well done. You don't think about that while you're watching. You just think about the action and how, the mystery of how are they tracking them and
Right.
how are they going to get out of this and what's going to happen.
We love sci-fi stories. We also watched 2001: The Space Odyssey.
We did.
Well, we're watching it. That is something that we are savoring.
We are savoring 2001: The Space Odyssey. I do love that film. I'm going to be honest with you. The film is a confused mess in plot.
Yes.
Because so much of it is visual. There's very little exposition at all. If you've read Arthur C. Clarke's novel that was written during the filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was written at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then you understand some of it a little bit better. And of course, he wrote a whole series of books. 4, I think. 2001, 2010, 2061, 3001. I think that's the series. So
sure.
There's a whole series of books that Clarke wrote that explain what's going on there. But the film on its own is visually stunning. An early look at how space travel might look. And remember, all of this was filmed and written in 1967, 1968, before we had actually landed on the moon, before we had any sort
space
of space stations or any prolonged experience in space. So it's very speculative. But for the most part, they get the science right. And Clarke was meticulous about that. And Kubrick did a fantastic job with the visuals.
The problem that watching it with Jerry is that he will rage at the screen about why we don't have that technology. Why have we wasted 50 years?
Yeah.
And why don't we have beautiful, huge rockets exploring space?
Right. With these massive artificial gravity
right.
Ships and these space stations around the moon bases, all of which, when Clarke and Kubrick did this project in 1968, they would have put money on that being a reality within their lifetime. There's no way that any of us thought that it wouldn't be. And then after we beat the Russians to the moon, we just cut off the money. We couldn't justify it because, and I just watched a interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he very clearly makes a point, and he is right. We did not go. The space program and going to the moon had nothing to do with science.
Oh, really?
It was about politics. It was about global conflict. We were in a Cold War with the Russians. We desperately wanted to beat them to the moon because, as he said, Sputnik, which was the first orbiting satellite around the Earth, was not some fancy rocket ship. It was a missile casing that had the warhead removed and had a communications package stuck on top. It was definitely military. And so now we're being Siri is interrupting our broadcast from the iPad over there. But so his point was, it was never about science at all. It was always about the military. And so when we didn't feel a military advantage anymore, we just cut off the funding. And so we wasted all that time. Then we started to spend money on the commercial aspect, which I don't fault us for.
No.
The commercial aspect, putting satellites, having all this sort of internet connectivity and the global positioning and radio and communication support was all important. But we could have done both, and we should be doing both today. And for those folks who say that it's a waste of money, it's simply not true. We get so much return for the money that we spend, both in innovation, in technologies that are developed for the program, and for just things that we find out. One of the things that I just read just the other day that we want to do when we return to the moon in 2028 is an experiment for how fire reacts differently in low gravity. And we can't do that on a space station. They can absolutely set up a controlled burn in the on the lunar surface, and they can see how fire burns differently when there's no gravity. And so that's
Okay, but
one of the
what are the
experiments.
benefits to us here on Earth?
So it could affect how we build manufacturing and other technologies in low gravity. So one of the things that we think that we can do is improve our manufacturing process and have it be more efficient and be different in low gravity. That's one of the things we want to research and look at. So imagine factories uh, on the moon or on in orbit or wherever that don't have some of the limitations that we have on Earth with the gravity and other
Hmm.
constraints. I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen, but I'm telling you those are the things we want to find out about and how those things affect it. Studying fire and how gravity affects it could have real world implications as well. So, but it's something we can't do on Earth. We can't duplicate on Earth effectively that we could do if we had permanent bases on the moon. And again, that's something we thought we were going to have, and then it went away because we decided it was too expensive. We wasted a lot of money on less important things, whether that's blowing stuff up or studying esoteric things or um, inefficient government programs. And I'm all for the safety net. I'm not telling you that we should cut funds for any of that. I'm saying that we can afford to do both, and we should. The NASA budget is minuscule compared to the budget for the rest of the U.S. government. And I personally would be willing to check a box that said give $1 to NASA
Instead of 3 cents?
instead of 3 cents. Yes, which is what
Yeah.
we spend out of our budget today is 3 cents out of the dollar that we pay in taxes is spent on the NASA budget. So those things I think are important. So Kubrick and Clark absolutely thought we'd be on the moon with bases. Another show that I watched just yesterday um, afternoon was the original Space 1999,
Great series.
Moonbase Alpha. um, this came up recently because we talked about the moon base. I actually had a picture of Moonbase Alpha, and of course the ships that they had and the technology they had, all stuff that we were sure we would have by
Yes. By now.
1999.
By now.
Remember, they made that in the 60s
Right.
and early 70s. They were sure we were going to have moon bases by the
Yes.
90s. In 30 years, we'll be on the moon. We'll be going to Mars. We'll be far beyond where we're at today. So it feels like we've lost a lot of ground.
We have lost a lot of ground. And as explorers, because I really feel that is in our DNA that humans are explorers.
Yes.
There's still things here on Earth that we need to explore
And
too.
we should continue to do that as well.
Yes.
We're not
Deep
there-
sea research is important.
Right.
You never know.
That's the other thing that people don't realize is that only part of NASA's budget goes towards the space program. A lot more of it goes towards aeronautics and weather-related services on Earth, studying
Climate.
climate and Gulf Stream and other things that have real-world applications. So it's not just a space program. Now, I can tell you right now, anybody listening to this who wants to talk about, space denialism or science denialism or flat Earth, so just stop. We're just going to block you.
Yeah.
We have no patience for that kind of stuff.
I have a video on TikTok about about the Artemis 2 crew, and the science deniers are I don't get it.
It is unbelievable to me that there are so many people who are just flat in denial about how science works. And for the most part, these are things you can test yourself if you want to spend the time educating
Just go
yourself.
to a building high enough,
Right,
then
and you
you can
test
see the curvature of the
curvature
Earth.
of the Earth. Well, you can't see the curvature, but you can see the effects of it when the sun sets.
Yes.
Because it will set in a pattern all the way down a very high building. And you will have sunset at the top of the building later than you have sunset at the bottom of the building.
Right.
Because of the curvature and how far you can see over the curvature. You can do that test yourself. There's tons of tests.
Anyway, we're not here to tell you how to.
And the reason, that's a good point, because we are not going to debate science. We're not going to debate.
We believe in science here.
Yeah, we're just not going to debate it. So you want to debate that, go somewhere else, because we're not going to participate in that. So we're big proponents of science and technology. Obviously, our life has been.
We met on technology.
We met through technology. Our life is enhanced and affected by technology. And if you read my work, you know that I am not a proponent that all technology is good all the time.
No.
Technology is what people make of it.
It's a tool.
Right. So you can use social media, for instance, and the internet can be used for great good. It can also be used for terrible, terrible crimes.
Yes.
That's on you. That's on humans.
Right.
Right. What we do with it is our responsibility. The technology itself does nothing. So, so we love science. We're going to follow the science. We're going to be promoters of people who do science, and
we're going to watch the sci-fi shows.
Geeked out about science programs and science fiction programs, because that's who we are.
Yeah, I can't wait for our little Rise plushie to get here.
Jeanne was NASA was inundated with requests to.
They weren't going to do it.
Yeah, they had no plans. NASA does not have a products division. They don't make products.
Right.
It's not part of their mandate. They have no manufacturing. But they were inundated with requests to make the little plushies that they use as the 0G. They had a contest. They had this young man who created the design for Rise, who was their 0G indicator, which they use for lots of purposes, both real and PR. I mean, clearly it's cool to see it floating in space, but they also use it in real world applications, so they know that they are in 0G. So, of course, that's captured the imagination of people. And the fact that, again, we posted about it, we were a little concerned about it because we didn't know what they had done with it. And Commander Reed was supposed to leave it behind in the capsule to be collected later. He could not do it. He actually threw it in a bag so it wouldn't get wet, and took it with him off the capsule when they were taken off by the rescue teams, by the recovery teams. So NASA gave into pressure, and they commissioned a company to produce them, and they just went on sale this past week. I saw it. First day it came out, hey, you can now buy this. I looked at it, I clicked on the link, and I'm like, you know what? There is no way that Jeanne is not buying this. So I am not going to do it. We'll end up with two of them. I'm not going to do it.
Which wouldn't be bad.
Well, it wouldn't be, but I was like, my thought was, hey, I'll buy this. I'll surprise her. I'm like, there's absolutely no way that's going to work. Later, she posts about it, that she already said she already ordered hers, that she's 59 and she already ordered hers.
Well, because somebody said, is it bad that I'm 33 and I ordered a plushie for myself and have no kids? And I'm thinking, heck yeah, it's okay.
The funniest thing is later, Jeanne said, well, I bought something. I'm like, you mean other than the Rise plushie? And she's like, how did you know that? I'm like, you posted about it.
I did not.
I'm like, yes, you did.
I'm 59.
59, and I did post about it. I'm like,
I was so excited.
You would be, which is why I didn't bother.
I had heard rumors that they were going to come out with that, and I really, really wanted it. And
I heard that on Threads.
Threads, the NASA account on Threads is
from 0 to 11 million viewers in like 48 hours.
It's awesome.
Amazing.
They have a great social media team.
So, I think we've beaten Plots and Popcorn into submission.
Yeah,
and we need to move on to what's for dinner.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? So we had a successful fire of a recipe this week. I did the kielbasa and jasmine rice dish, which we love now.
Yeah.
Straight up comfort food.
Yeah.
If you've missed the episode before,
We'll have a link in
have
the.
a link to a recipe. Actually, I don't. The problem is, I think that I cobbled it together. So maybe I need to write up a recipe, and we'll do that. We'll try to do that our first
Ooh,
recipe because I actually do it.
the co-authored cookbook.
Co-authored cookbook. So I'll write something up. But so we did that. And then we had a not so good recipe that we tried. I'm gonna let Jeannie tell you about
So
what you did.
it
We
wa-
did.
yeah, it was one of those weeks where we're scrambling at the store on that day, like, what are we going to eat tonight? And so I walked in. I was by myself, wasn't I? Yeah. I saw a pack
Yes, you did.
in the ready cut vegetables where it said, just throw it on the sheet pan. Well, here's the spices, da 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 da. And it was sweet potatoes and carrots and
Peppers.
pepper and some seasoning.
Then at the same time she bought
Pork
some
chops.
pork cutlets. Yeah, there's thin
The
boneless
boneless.
pork chops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, put them on the sheet pan, cook them up. Everything is good. The pork was good. The usual spice palette, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Did you put onion powder on it?
Yeah, onion, and we put some smoked pepper.
Smoked pepper. Smoked paprika.
Yeah, I know that because it took me 20 minutes to find the
Yes.
smoked pepper. Got 12 versions of paprika.
Our spice
That's a mess.
cabinet is over. Is over.
It's
populated. There we go. That's the word. Not really. It's too much. We have too many spices. Not that there's such a thing.
The term starts with the word cluster is what it actually is.
Yes. It's a cluster duck. Anyway, so, and I think it was a harissa. I'm butchering that. And I should have looked at what was in it, but it was tasty. It was spicy, but our tummies did not like it one bit.
I had a pretty bad day.
Yeah, you ended up staying home.
I did. Well, I had a doctor's appointment in the morning, and then I was left for the doctor's appointment, and then my stomach was just not having it. And I spent the better part of that day getting over that because it sort of
What's for dinner brought to you by Imodium.
Yeah, it was definitely some Imodium involved. We would not recommend. 0 out of 10 stars. Would not recommend. If you like spicy, your stomach can take it. We just could not take it.
And I don't know what was in that mix.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was definitely what caused it because
Yeah, and the next, I wasn't hit as hard, but I was hit.
Yeah.
So other than that, our what's for dinners have been, we also had spaghetti this week.
Oh, that's right.
But instead of fettuccine noodles, we had actual spaghetti noodles.
You need to explain that.
So I eat gluten-free, and Jerry, because he's such a dear, just says, whatever, I'll eat it. The pasta, you can't really tell a difference.
Yeah,
Barilla has really done a great job with their gluten-free pastas, but the packaging is too close.
Yes.
And the placement on the store shelves is too close. So
it also moves around a lot too.
Yeah, it does. So he went and picked up, hey, we need spaghetti noodles. Okay, cool. He bought fettuccine. Fine, doesn't matter. Didn't even really notice it until after I was done cooking it, going, these noodles are wrong. Right. Are these fettuccine noodles? Anyway, we finished those up. We still have a box, but we can use that for something else.
We can cook that. I mean, we don't like fettuccine. I mean, we do a mean shrimp scampi over fettuccine, which is really, really good. But spaghetti,
something about the meat to the sauce to the pasta ratio, it was just so good this week.
Much better with the thinner noodles.
Yes.
And so, so we're done having fettuccine with spaghetti sauce,
meat sauce,
and we're now back to having spaghetti, which Jeannie cooks
in an Instapot.
All together at one time. It's very, very good.
35 minutes. Good. You brown the meat in there, you add everything, high for 7 minutes. quick release on the Instapot. It's done. Stir it, go. It is so good
So
and
good.
so easy and easy cleanup. And I'm sure every person who slaves over the stove making their own sauce is like shaking their head at me because we use jarred sauce.
That's one of the few things that we do prepared. I mean, a lot of the stuff we do manual. Like I don't even make chili with prepared
No.
sauce. We actually make our own chili seasoning, but with the sauce, it just takes so long to do it the other way.
Yeah.
So we do it that way. The other thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned is that we're doing a little experiment. We decided we drink coffee, a lot of
Oh,
coffee,
yeah,
at
yeah.
least a pot a day, at least a 12-cup pot a day,
On the weekends, it's usually 2
2
pots.
pots. But we wanted to try. Usually, I buy Starbucks Veranda Blend. It's just my favorite Starbucks flavor.
It's smooth,
Very
it's light.
smooth, very light. And I drink coffee black with nothing in it. Jeannie puts
Jerry calls them my milkshakes.
her milkshake versus. But anyway, not judging that. People drink what they drink. That's whatever they drink. But I drink mine black, so it needs to be smooth and light. I don't like a very harsh flavor. But this week we were buying coffee. I said, hey, we really need to try some other flavors. So we tried a new flavor, and we'll give you a link to it. But it's Lavazza.
Sure.
Lavazza.
Lavazza.
Dulce Vida Classico.
It's delicious.
It's a medium roast. It was really good. Jeannie said very nutty.
It is very nutty, don't you think?
It is. It's very good. That's what I'm drinking right now. It's very good. It's cold now, but that has never stopped me before.
No, I'm sure we'll make another pot here soon.
Yes. Ooh, that'd be good. As soon as the podcast is
Maybe
over.
we should do like weekend coffee. Be different than our regular coffee.
Maybe we'll try that.
Try different coffee every weekend.
So, and then we still have to plan meals this week. We haven't done anything this week for meals. We'll probably do that tomorrow. But so that's what's for dinner. So a good
kind of a boring segment. Sorry, we're kind of in an
experiment and then a bad experiment. Sorry for alluding to a graphic nature of our meals.
You know,
this morning we had a really good omelet. We had a good sort of leftover. We had some tomatoes.
It was almost a Luke omelet.
Almost a Luke.
We are Gilmore Girl fans, so
but it was not quite. But it was tomatoes, green onions, bacon, mozzarella, and Jack. I think it's mozzarella and Colby Jack cheese. And together, fell apart a little bit, but it was delicious. It was fantastic. Although my first bite was so hot, I had to cool my mouth down with coffee.
Yes,
that's how hot it was.
As I was saying, we're Gilmore Girls, and Luke has a omelet.
Has a Swiss cheese and.
Is it Swiss cheese?
Swiss cheese, yeah. There's a recipe that we have. Anyway, enough about that.
Yeah.
So, I think we're there again.
I think you're right.
Every week, I worry we won't have anything to talk about, and we ended up filling up an hour. But every story has its end, but our process is just getting started.
Thank you for joining us behind the scenes of the co-authored life. Wait, behind the scenes?
I don't know. This is your script.
I know. I'm thinking that needs an update.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do update next week.
Anyway.
I'm J.E. Sutton Jr.
And I'm Jeannie. To see what we're currently working on, including our outro, visit us on jestunjr.com. And we'll see you in the next chapter.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll rework that.
Behind the scenes? I don't think.
Yeah, I think that maybe.
Because we're like right here. Behind the scenes
would be over there with Nutbag going crazy.
Yeah.
Digging in her box of paper and plastic.